Long ago, in a land filled with golden fields and silver rivers, there lived a great king. His palace stood high on a hill, shining like the morning sun. People from every corner of the land loved him because he was wise, kind, and fair. His voice brought peace, and his smile gave hope. But one night, when the moon was bright and the stars were like diamonds, something strange happened. A cold wind moved through the villages, whispering secrets no one could understand. When the people woke the next morning, they felt heavy, as if their hearts had forgotten how to sing. Their eyes no longer sparkled, their voices no longer carried laughter. The king walked out onto his balcony and looked down at his people. He saw children sitting silently, mothers staring into the distance, and fathers who no longer worked in the fields. It was as if joy had been stolen from them. The king's heart grew troubled. "What has fallen upon my land?" he whispered. He sent his messengers to every corner, but all came back with the same news. The people are under a spell. No one knew how it began, no one knew how to break it. The spell wrapped around their spirits like invisible chains. The king refused to give up. He rode his white horse into the villages. Wherever he went, the people bowed but did not smile. He spoke words of courage, but their hearts could not hear. The spell was strong. One evening, as the king prayed beneath an old oak tree, he heard a soft voice. It came from a little girl who had not fully fallen under the spell. She looked at him with half-bright eyes and said, "Great king, the spell came from the dark forest. A shadow walks there, whispering into the wind. That is why we cannot smile." The king placed his hand gently on her head. "You are brave to tell me this. Do not fear. I will bring back the light." The next morning, the king set out toward the dark forest. His soldiers wanted to follow, but he told them to stay. "This path is mine alone," he said. With only his sword and his crown, he entered the forest where no birds sang. The deeper he went, the darker it grew. The trees seemed alive, leaning closer, whispering strange words. But the king did not stop. His heart was stronger than fear. At last, he reached a clearing where the shadow stood. It was tall, with eyes that glowed like red embers. The shadow laughed softly and said, "Why do you fight, great king? The people belong to me now. Their joy feeds my power." The king raised his sword, but he did not strike. Instead, he spoke with a voice filled with truth. "My people do not belong to you. Joy is not something you can steal forever. Light will always rise after the night." The shadow hissed, "Your words are nothing." But the king stepped forward, his crown shining like the sun. "Then let the truth be shown." At that moment, a great light burst from his crown, brighter than the dawn. The forest trembled, the trees shook, and the shadows screamed. The spell began to break. Chains of darkness shattered into dust. Far away in the villages, the people lifted their heads. Their eyes cleared, their laughter returned, and their hearts felt light again. Children ran through the fields, mothers sang, fathers worked with joy. The land was alive once more. When the king returned, the people rushed to meet him. They knelt not because they had to, but because their hearts overflowed with love and gratitude. The little girl who had spoken to him before ran to his side. "You did it, great king. The spell is gone." He smiled and lifted her into his arms. "Not I alone. It was the hope inside each of you that gave me strength. Remember this. No shadow can last forever, for light always finds a way." And so the kingdom lived in peace again. The people never forgot the day their joy returned, and they spoke of the king's courage for generations. His name became a song carried by the wind, reminding all that even in the darkest times, hope shines brighter than fear.